Okay guys and girls, you won't believe this. I finally found a miracle solution for all of your guitar problems. You just have to sign this little contract, it's completely free. What? Yeah, I mean the devil will claim your soul at one point, but it's still a pretty sweet deal, right? Much better than actually practicing or working hard to reach your goals or anything like that, right?
I am here for your soul.
Okay, so that's it for today's video. I will see you again in the next video. Have a lot of fun practicing. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye. Guitar success myths. No, this video is not about fairy tales like Paganini or Robert Johnson supposedly selling their souls for
massive shred gains.
It's about those myths that you hear about from so-called pro players or from family and friends or even teachers sometimes. Personally, I got very lucky and could perform on a couple of successful records so far, and I had the huge honor of touring through many different countries in the last 10 years, aside from building my online presence. But for a lot of personal mistakes, experiences and wasted time, I could debunk some of these very common guitar success and career myths, at least for myself, and I really hope that this video will help you on your path to guitar mastery. So right away a question I get a lot is, do I have to actually study guitar to get really good, or is it required to have formal music education to get booked for professional work? So I studied jazz guitar and instrumental pedagogics for over 4 years in Vienna. I always wanted to be a professional guitar player and I thought that this was absolutely necessary to reach the goals that I had in mind. But real talk, absolutely nobody ever asked me about my diploma so far, and you guys and girls probably also don't really care that much about how I passed both my studies with honors. Ha! Nerd. With my personal studio and live career, it was always much more about being on time, being prepared for the job, being professional. Mentioning my jazz guitar studies at auditions or in the studio mostly got me reactions like, ah. So it was always much more about how I was actually playing and how I was working within a team. Make sure to comment below if you are a self-taught guitar player or if you actually received some kind of formal music education in some way and if that helped you on your journey. I would love to know more about that. If you are actually planning to teach guitar or any other instruments, it's definitely a good choice to do it or to think about doing it, in my personal opinion and experience. But some of my colleagues were extremely disappointed after graduating. People definitely don't throw jobs or money at you as soon as you're done, and having a diploma or degree in music didn't really contribute that much to becoming a full-time guitarist in my case. Free gear! I guess that's what most people think about when it comes to endorsements. But in reality, you're entering a relationship with a brand and become an ambassador for their products, to get really businessy about it. So my first tip and probably biggest personal mistake, don't do it if you don't believe in what you're endorsing. Not only will you end up with low quality gear for your own work, you will also advertise it to others, and that really doesn't feel too good. I know that it can be tempting because messages like this pop up constantly as your following starts to grow. Our team at Poorly Designed and Manufactured Guitars Incorporated has discovered your profile. Get in touch right now, let's get you some free low quality guitars. My honest suggestion is waiting a bit until you get better offers or just not doing it at all. I had many different endorsements in the past, but these two brands show some real interest in my work aside from producing killer gear, and that's exactly what I'm looking for at the moment. So how do you actually do this and how can you get an endorsement deal? In my opinion, first you should actually think about what you can offer the company that you want to work with and why they should endorse you. Just send them a formal, organized email with all of your references and why you are the perfect endorser for them, and you will be quite surprised, most of them actually respond to your emails. So really just give it a shot and see what happens, but only if you feel like both sides will really benefit from this relationship. Just like you will really benefit from subscribing right now, because you will stay updated and you will never miss helpful videos like that one again. Obviously, social media is getting more and more important for musicians nowadays, and buying yourself into this game kind of seems like a nice and easy way to get a head start, but it really won't get you anywhere. Not only do you risk getting your accounts blocked or deleted, you also don't generate any real traffic to your music, and those fake followers get deleted anyways in most cases, as algorithms are getting smarter every day. So worst of all, it's a huge waste of your time and money. building a real following is a lot of work and it seems quite hopeless at first. Trust me, I've also been there and I also started from zero, just like everybody else. But the compound effect I like to talk about when it comes to practicing guitar also applies to this. If you pour your heart and soul into your content, if you upload on a consistent basis at least once a week, and most importantly, if you do just a little bit of reading on how algorithms work and about what the platform you're posting on actually wants from you, you will definitely succeed with this. One book I can really recommend for YouTube is called The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves. This one is well structured and really up to date. But trust me, you will learn the most about all of this if you just keep posting and uploading, since your content will get better and better as you're analyzing what works and what doesn't work. This one hurts pretty bad, right? You mostly hear it from friends and family at uncomfortable dinners. Just give up already and get a real job. You can still play your little guitar on the weekends. Nobody buys records anymore. Trust me, I heard it all, but now family members I barely heard from over the last couple of years suddenly hit me up for free tickets. It's the same old story. So the music industry has definitely changed a lot over the years and you have to approach all of this a bit differently. But great news, almost everybody is still listening to music and creative minds can make it happen for sure. So the way that I got most of my touring jobs was always doing my best with studio appointments and with producers, always showing up early, being prepared, being friendly, caring a lot about the production I was working on and downplaying my ego and so on. And these producers actually thought about me or talked about me as soon as they were working with bigger acts that were searching for guitar players. But my absolute biggest and most important tip that I could ever give career-wise is finding multiple streams of income that are all revolving around your best developed skills. This is honestly the exact tip that I would have needed many years ago, because sometimes a tour is cancelled or a project is disbanded or you simply get kicked out of a project. It can happen. So please trust me on this, you never want to rely on one single project career-wise. Okay, you probably saw this one coming, it's a quite divisive topic. I keep seeing debates online with arguments like player X doesn't use music theory at all, or player Y says music theory is actually bad for your sound, and I get it. Music theory looks incredibly difficult and complicated at first, and many players are scared about demystifying something as emotional and mysterious as music. But the truth is, you probably will be stuck at some point if you don't master the basics. All those famous players that are claiming they don't know anything about music theory actually know a couple of things. What they actually mean by that is that they probably don't know about complex chord or scale theory, maybe they can't read or write music, or maybe they never worked on ear training. But trust me, everybody knows the basics and so should you. To start out, I really recommend learning the notes on your fretboard, because you will need that pretty much for everything you want to accomplish music theory wise. I recently even made a full course on that for patreon.com/BERNTH. With this basic knowledge you can move to intervals, chord theory, scale theory and anything else you want to master. All of this is featured with exercises, in-depth explanations and play-along videos on Patreon as well. So if you want to finally get rid of your music theory blind spots and actually learn about what you are playing and why it sounds good or bad, make sure to click the link in the description or in the first post to join us over there today. Okay, this is the big one. How often have you heard things like, I wish I could also be great at this, but I'm just not talented? Or maybe something like, if I was just as talented as him or her, I would also be great at this. To me, this is almost an insult, since it kind of diminishes all the hard work, discipline and effort it takes to get really good at something. I don't think that talent is completely fabricated, and your upbringing, surroundings and interests when you grow up definitely play a role, aside from your genetics. But in my experience as a teacher especially, talent is often used as an excuse when things don't come easy right away. As you know, it takes huge amounts of work and effort to get better at guitar or at any specific skill. And I'm quite sure that some players are progressing much faster than others with the exact same amount of practice time and maybe even with the exact same exercises. But after all of these years, I truly believe that absolutely everybody can get good at guitar. If you actually put in the work, you will be rewarded. That's what I've seen again and again over the years. So my biggest wish concerning all of of that is not seeing people give up anymore because they think they're not talented enough or that they don't have a special gift or something like that. Or even worse, because they're told by somebody that they don't have what it takes. If you feel really stuck and frustrated right now, make sure to find a teacher that can show you the way. It's perfectly normal to get stuck and frustrated at some point if you're learning completely by yourself, and getting help and just a little bit of input is necessary for a lot of players. I'm doing my absolute best with providing helpful exercises and tips here on YouTube, and even give personal practice plan input, progress feedback and advice on Patreon. So in the end, please don't let people tell you that you don't have what it takes to become a successful guitar player. You can achieve your goals if you believe in them and if you do the work. So I really hope that I could help, motivate and inspire with this video. As always, you can find the best daily exercises and much more on patreon.com/BERNTH in case you're motivated to practice right now, and you can also get in touch with me over there in case you have any questions about this video. As always, I want to end this video with a random German word, or 2 random German words for today. Guten Abend. That means good evening, a phrase that you might actually need at some point. Make sure to comment that one below to really confuse everybody who didn't watch this video until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated. Leave a like in case you enjoyed, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye bye.